I'm all for pleasure. um, I think that the feeling that pleasure is not a good thing traces back to feelings that we have of things being selfish. That if I take pleasure from something, then I in some way am being a selfish person. Now I'm talking about real pleasure here. I'm not talking about doing things that, end up making you unconscious. Partying all night till 2 in the morning and not being able to function the next day. Real pleasure is very pure. It's easy. It's not something that the next day you have to get up and go, wow, I'm so hungover from, let's call it real pleasure, that I can't go to work. Pleasure is a delighting in what is, but it's not a manipulating what is. And so perhaps the people who feel that pleasure is not something that they want to incorporate in their lives are reacting against pleasure, which is for reasons of escape, reasons of sometimes controlling other people, and not something that's really pure and intrinsic to them. So let's go all the way back and imagine yourself as a little baby. And someone who loves you very much is holding you right this moment in their arms. They're looking down at your little face and your button nose and your little mouth and your eyes, your little perky ears. That person who's looking at you is looking at you with tremendous pleasure. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to hold a little baby, who's not crying, by the way, in your arms, and to see that newness, that sweetness, that unvarnished little person. These pleasures go on throughout your life. Tend not to think of them anymore as you get older. You tend to think of pleasure as something where people go out and up all night, drinking and dancing and doing all that kind of thing. Not that there's anything bad with that either, if it is true pleasure. But what it mostly is escape. People trying to escape what their normal everyday life is. It's understandable. We're so disconnected from nature anymore. Most of us have jobs that are indoors, not making enough money to really make ends meet. So life tends to be really stressful, very hard to get through. People want to go and forget. That's what they're really doing. They're forgetting for a few moments, a few hours. They're not going to have pleasure. They're just going to forget. So my guess is that your friend who feels this way is reacting against the forgetting rather than against actually having pleasure. If you ask this person, would they want to hold a sweet baby, a sleeping baby, not a crying baby? Would they want to walk in the woods? Would they want to go swimming in a creek with really pure water? Would they want to sit and, eat something that was really good for them? Would they want to be with friends? Would they want to have a nice long nap? All of this is pleasure. And if you go back in history, you'll find out that pleasure in this kind of way is what has gotten people oftentimes through their lives being sane and happy and well, because they're able to give themselves real pleasure.